Hey everyone. So you're probably here because of my video, things that they didn't tell you about postpartum part 4. And I talked about some products on my TikTok, and I wanted to kind of do a little bit more in-depth video because somebody requested it on one of my videos. So I thought I'd oblige. So let me go over all of the products that I did in my video, and then we'll talk about how to use them, when to use them, what you can get from the hospital, what you can't get from the hospital, and I'll show you how to use them and everything. So anyway, let's get to it. So the first thing that I mentioned was this. It's called Tux, and it's a hemorrhoidal pad with witch hazel. Now I got this as a gift, but really this is what they gave me at the hospital. They're like Medi pads, and they look like this. I'll show them to you. They're just like regular cotton pads, and they're really thin, but they have witch hazel inside of them. And so what I'll show you how to use this in a little bit, but I'll get to the other. Now this you can get from the hospital. This was given to me as a baby shower present. But yeah, you'll probably just need one or two. This is Dermoplast. It's a pain reliever spray. I got this from the hospital as well. And then I actually got 2 extras, but I really only needed 1 can. And you're going to spray, I don't know if you can see it. You're going to spray yourself with this. And I'll show you when. Okay, so, what I wanted to mention is these like witch hazel pads. If you don't have, if your hospital doesn't give them to you, you could actually, and you have this stuff yourself, if you have cotton rounds, what you can do is take, I would take probably the whole pack and then fill a mason jar. I'm just going to use this little Tupperware. And then you can actually get some witch hazel and then fill it up, and then just make sure all the pads are soaked, and then close it up and store it in a cool place. And then you have your very own, witch hazel pads. Let's see what else. Okay, so the Tux. Okay, next is pads. So I think the hospital that I went to, they gave me these pads. They gave me like a giant little sachet of them. But some hospitals actually have the deluxe mesh underwear. So this is like the mesh part, and then it'll have this like pad that's like automatically attached to it. I would suggest getting as many of these as you can. And if you have a C-section or natural labor, you will either bleed unless you got like a sweep done, which is basically where they try to clean out as much of your uterus that's at the time of labor. So after you give birth to your baby, they'll do like a push or a sweep of your uterus, and then they'll try to clean you out as much as possible. My hospital didn't offer me that, so I bled for a few weeks. So these actually really came in handy. These are actually, this exact one is a Depends. I love Depends. I started using Depends, sheesh, I think during my postpartum period. But I would pack a few of these in your hospital bag, just in case if the hospital doesn't give you any. Not sure why they wouldn't, but if they just happen to not have any in stock or something, then you have some as a backup. But yeah, so they'll give you these, and then the Tux, I'll go into all of that stuff. But the other thing that I don't have actually on me, that I kind of posted as a picture, as a background picture on my TikTok, is the sitz bath. And so the sitz bath, if you guys don't know, if you're watching this and you didn't happen to see my TikTok video, it's basically, it looks like a toilet seat cover, and it has a little basin underneath, and you fill it up with warm water. And then you use this really cool sitz bath soak. This one, you don't have to use this. You could just use Epsom salt if you have some already at home. But I actually got this on Amazon, and then you use like a half a cup of this with warm water, and then you just sit in it, like on top of the toilet. So you put it on top of your toilet, and then you fill it up with hot water with the Epsom salt, and then like you sit on the toilet, and then just kind of have it like touch your private areas. This is to help heal that area. This is to help soothe, to help the inflammation that you're going to experience down there. And yeah, it actually really does help. I didn't do too much of it, but I did it like a few times, and it really actually does help. I wish I would have done it more than I did. Let's see what else. So nursing bras are definitely things that I used immediately after. I had a couple of these in my hospital bag. And nursing bras are the shit. If you actually use these, they basically go over your boobies like this, and then you unclick them. And then if you wanted to breastfeed, then you can expose your breast and feed your baby, and then close it back up when you're done. They have different kinds. I got this one off of Amazon. This one actually went into a store and bought. And these were great. These were like super stretchy. They had pads inside. You could switch out the pads if you have, you know, those, there are different kinds of pads for breastfeeding, but I would stuff a couple in there just in case if I started to leak. And then they're just pretty durable. I can wash these, and they didn't, I mean, I've washed these probably 100 times, and you know, they still hold their shape. They don't really shrink or morph or anything like that. And then the last product is a little controversial. It is a waist cincher. Now, a lot of people, you know, say you shouldn't wear this or you should wear this. I wore it because it's just kind of tradition in my family. It just kind of helps our bodies to get back into our shape, and then helps with the swelling, and then also helps shrink down the uterus as much as possible. That's just what I've told. What I've been told. Don't know if there's any actual science to it based on my body, but I actually liked it. It did help a lot of the swelling, and then the shaping back of my body. But it just depends on you, whatever you want to do. But don't feel like this isn't a need. This is just like a want, and this is just what we've done throughout our family. So this you cannot get at the hospital. The nursing bras you can't get at the hospital, so make sure to pack them if you want them. I would say you should pack a couple of the mesh underwear that depends, and then some pads as well, depending on your flow. So usually what's going to happen after you deliver your baby, either through via C-section or through natural birth, if you deliver vaginally. You know, if you're delivering vaginally, you're definitely, you know, there's higher risk of actually tearing, or if you have an episiotomy, you'll just get cut down there, and then, you know, there's some healing, and then there might be there's obviously some stretching and some trauma down in your, you know, genital region. So like what you're going to experience is obviously a lot of irritation, a lot of pain, and a lot of swelling. And for me, I just didn't want to touch that area at all. So basically they'll give you like this little squirt bottle. This isn't the exact one. I just took this from my medicine cabinet, but it's like they'll give you a little squirt bottle. And what you do is you fill it up with water. And this is every time you go to the bathroom or you have to relieve yourself in the bathroom. You basically switch out all of this stuff. And now this happens immediately after. So pack this in your hospital bag. So you have your water, and you go to the bathroom, and then you squirt your area with the warm water, not hot water, just warm water. And then you close it up, and then you get like a rag. They might give you a rag at the hospital, or you can bring a rag of your own if you don't feel like using the hospital ones. And then you would just kind of pat, let's just pretend that this is your crotch area. Okay. You'd pat yourself dry. Okay. And then what you would do is you would take either the Depends that they give you or a pad. Okay. You take this, let's just undo this. And then you would take your hemorrhoidal pad and just open these. Actually, I'll just use the cotton pads just in case. So you take these, and then you take your soaked witch hazel pads, whether they're the tucks or these ones or the ones that you made at home. And you put this here like a pizza. You make a little pad pizza. And then you would either stick this to your underwear, or if it's on your Depends, you don't have to stick it anywhere. You would just put these on the Depends, and then you would, you know, put your underwear back on, or your pull up your Depends, and then you would just wear it like this. Oh, I forgot. Sorry. Before you actually put this on, you would take your dermoplast, and then you'd spray your area. Spray down below where the pain is, if you have pain. Now, you wouldn't really need this if you got a C-section, and you wouldn't really need these tucks or the hemorrhoid pads, because they're primarily made for like the swelling or the pain or the, irritation that's going on down there if you delivered naturally. So remember, like, you'll still need the pads or the diapers if you delivered via C-section. But if you delivered naturally and you did experience some tearing or an episiotomy, then this is definitely going to help with the healing process and the cooling and the irritation. And so just remember that you'll need all of these. You'll pad pizza and your dermoplast. And this is every time you go to the bathroom, you have to change this out. So that's basically what I did and how I used it. Now, if you do feel, oh, I forgot to mention this one. If you do feel a burning sensation, which you will probably later on while you're healing, you can bring these. And these are perennial cold packs. And basically you would crack this, you'd shake it, and then it would cool. It's just like a cold press or cold pack. And then you would put this on top of your pad. You wouldn't actually use these. You would just put it on top or inside of your diaper, and then it would just chill that area. Now, I've seen other people on Pinterest, and what they do is they actually make padsicles. Now, the padsicles you could leave at home. This is for later on. As you're healing down there, it'll get really, it'll feel like a burning sensation. And what you'll do is you'll use it for that. So what you do to make these padsicles is that you would actually just take a pad like this, you would open it up, and then put some, you'd put some, what is this called? Like aloe vera on here. And then you would just, I'll put this to the side because I feel like it's leaking on the bed. You put some aloe vera on here, and then you basically seal it back up. You close it back up, and then you would put it in the refrigerator or the freezer. And then when you need them during your, postpartum period, during your healing period, then you would actually take one out of the freezer and then apply it to your underwear whenever, you need it. So you could use that, or you can use these. I have this on I bought this off of Amazon. So all of these products are links. They're all going to be some of them might be affiliate links and some of them might not, but they're going to be down below in the description box. So if you want to, go ahead. I encourage you to use my affiliate link just so I can get like 7 cents. I'm not making a ton of money off of it, but every little bit helps, and it helps support this channel and this blog that I have. But if you also, speaking of my blog, if you want a list of all the things that, like all of these items that you would request from the hospital, I actually made a list when I was pregnant, and I actually handed it over to the nurse, and she just looked at the list, grabbed all the stuff, and then handed it back to me. So if you want that list, feel free to go ahead and subscribe to my blog, and then it'll automatically email to you that list. So yeah, and then if you, whatever you want to pick up off of Amazon, the links are down below, or you can head over to my blog and click on any of those items that you want as well. So that's that. Thanks so much for watching. The next video is going to be what to pack in your hospital bag. And only the essentials, guys. I don't do anything crazy, but also take note that there are so many other postpartum products out there that I probably didn't mention, but these are the ones that I used on a day-to-day basis. And also for my particular situation, like I didn't have a C-section. So there might be a product out there for somebody that has or had a C-section that worked amazing. But I also didn't mention it here. So these are the ones that I used, tried and true, very awesome. I liked them, and they helped me heal in a very short amount of time compared to what I could have experienced, which would have been like way longer. So these actually helped out a lot. And this is actually how my nurses taught me how to use these products. So if you have any questions, feel free to go ahead and put it down below. And if you guys have any suggestions on things on other products, then make sure to put it down and help another mom out who might be watching this. And yeah, thanks so much for watching. Thanks, and take